doing a 15,000 mile oil change. All I've got to do is oil and filter today. I did the air filter at 10,000 and I'll do that again at 20,000, and I'll change the plug and I'll set the tappets as well. They're 10,000 mile jobs really. Spark plug kind of yearly. So as you know, I bulk bought oil filters and O-ring seals from India, cheap as chips. So I always pre-soak oil filters when I do oil changes, and just how I've been told. So the bike's been running for about 10-15 minutes. So what we'll do, I was always told to not drop oil straight away out of a hot engine, as you've got to let a lot of the particles drop down into the bottom. So we'll do that. So we'll give it 5 and I'll come back then. Okay. Hey, Murphy's going to help, aren't you, Murph? You going to help, son? Yes. Right, back shortly. Okay, so I've got myself a cup of coffee, and you'll see here I've took off my sump guard. Just missing the washer there. Oops. You see that needs a good wash. Anyway, I'm going to wash all the bike once I'm done. So, top tip, I put a big rag underneath, an old towel. Get one of these if you don't have one and you're just draining out the old buckets and things. These are great. It'll take more than your car, your motorbike oil changing. Take them to the dump and empty them out. So what we'll do first, we'll take the oil filter off, and then we'll also take out the drain for the oil filter cavity, which for some reason some certain YouTuber, top brass YouTuber, one of the big guys, didn't do that. So obviously if you drain that out, and it stops all the oil pissing everywhere when you take the cover off the oil filter. So it's an 8mm you need for underneath, and a 17, and we'll get on with that. So as I say, get a mat as well to kneel on. Nothing worse for your old knees, and that's how I can still kneel, because I've always used mats. So there's not a lot of room under here, as you can see, but it stops making a mess. So I'm going to go and get a toy or a chew for him, because he's just going to get in the way. Back shortly. It's filled with soaking wet biscuit, carrot and the likes, then frozen. Look at him, he loves them, don't you, Murphy? He'll take that out into the garden probably. Okay, so let's get under this, get draining. So you've seen 101 of these films anyway already, and there's nothing new to see. The secret is, when you loosen these, don't take them right off. I don't know if you can see me. Alright, hold on. There we go. What to do is just loosen them enough till it starts dripping out, and it saves the whole mess. There you go, see that? Just let that run like that. No rush to do this, because if, like me, you've just made a coffee, you can then go back and have some coffee. Some folk around here might be contemplating doing their own oil changes now that we don't have a Royal Enfield shop. Depends how much you value your warranty. Personally, I never really bothered about my warranty, because I painted mine. It done about 4,000 miles, so I think if anything serious was going to go wrong, it would have went wrong in those miles. But that's up to you. So you can see the colour of that oil, that's done 5,000 miles. That's well black. 6,000 miles it's done. Sorry, yeah. So I'm going to put this mineral oil in, as I've already discussed, and we'll see what happens. I know it'll run fine. A lot of folk are like, oh, you can't use that. Well, let's find out. I don't care, I've got a spare engine. Right, we'll come back in 5-10 minutes. You can see the wind starting to blow that a bit. Just make sure it's going into your container, you just make a real mess. I'll come back once it starts slowing down a bit, and we'll drop the filter off and get the gauze out. Okay, that's dripping, and you'll see I'm not using my gloves today. You should wear gloves when you're using old oil, because it's quite a dirty thing. Now, can't recommend these enough. These orange gloves that you buy on eBay for about £14 a pack. Get 50 pairs. So the beauty of these, unlike those blue ones, nitrile ones, these are reusable. You'll get them on and off, so you'll wear them multiple times. I have them in my bike panniers, I have them in my Jeep tools, I have them in the car. Just brilliant. So back to the bike. We're slowing up now, you can see. So what we'll do, just trying to get this in here, it's not quite the right height, is it? Put your light there. Is we'll just quickly unscrew these. But what we don't want to do is drop the bolt. Take the front one out first. And this is why you should wear gloves, see? So there you go, there's the front one out. Okay. Set that there. And then we'll get the back one out. And I've got the cover on top of my finger, so I won't drop that either. You won't get cold hands doing this either. See that alright? There you go. So you've got an O-ring on that, see that? Now you might have to replace that. I never have replaced them. I just give them a good wipe. We'll just settle that on the towel there. Right, let that drip a bit. So in here, if you have a look, it's a plastic gauze. Now, if they don't come out with your hands, you can peel them with pliers, but I would be very careful using pliers in there. Now, these get cleaned and put back in. Okay. Now let's have a look at that. What's that there? Look. It's a bit of a disintegrated, should I say, O-ring possibly? O-ring on this is okay though. So how do I clean that? Quite simple. What you need is, be up there again, some of this brake cleaner, but I buy this manual stuff, whatever it is called. Or you buy loads of their stuff. So you just want to rinse that out, see? Now this stuff evaporates instantly. You can buy a nice brake cleaner by Silkolene, but it's very expensive to just be blasting like that. I would keep the Silkolene stuff for like your brake shoes and stuff, but for general cleaning, there you go. Here's the nut we have to take off. What I use is a 17 ring spanner. There you go, it's tight. Then once you've broke it, it'll just unthread. Now what this is going to do is drain the oil filter casing. Now the hardest thing with using a camera to film is not touching the lens, as you know. So there won't be much oil come out of this, and I can't work out why a certain top YouTuber who did a quite well made film, I have to admit, definitely. Now that's what happens, look, see it's missed that. Okay, that's fine, we'll just get a cloth and we'll tidy that up before it goes anywhere, like down there. It's always the way, you always miss it somewhere. That's why you put a towel down. Okay, just get rid of all these. Okay, so we're going to give it all 5 minutes. I'm going to go and finish my coffee and I'll come back, alright? On. Drips gradually stopping now. So I've loosened off the filler cap, by the way. It's another pressure release type thing you might want to do. I don't know if it really matters, but just going to break these all off evenly. Now these are sprung loaded, these covers. with the spring that's built into the filter. Just try and loosen them all evenly. There will be a dribble of oil come out this, there you go. You see that there. It's quite natural. What we'll do, leave those Allen bolts on this, or take them out, doesn't really matter. Now oil changes have I done now? This must be the fourth or fifth one? Fourth one. Just are a pleasure to work on. Okay, so we've left the O-ring on there. So that's the O-ring that we're going to replace, okay? There's your cover. That's okay, we'll just set that like that. And what we'll do, put that on a bit of tissue. So it's making a mess, like so. So your oil filter, there you go. That's all there is to it. You're looking at it, it's squeaky clean, but it should be. And our other one is already pre-soaked, as you've seen at the start of the film. So there's no way I'll get this out without making a mess, so there's a way to do this. I'm going to try to remember what I did last time. I'm sure I hooked it. There you go. So just let that sit for a bit. Now we have to clean out inside this oil filter casing. Check, no crap in there. That looks good. Cover's all good. Right then, let's put this in. There you go, little hook, done the job. So a lot of that new oil will now start pouring out, but that's alright. So just leave that sitting like that. Now what we'll do, we've got our new O-ring. So some of the eBay companies sell the filters in bulk with these O-rings, some don't. So what we want to do is put that onto there. See the line it goes into? It just sits in like that. And I'll just get them started. Just make sure that O-ring stays in as you start to tighten it down. It should. The oil that's in there should hold it. So you can then press that on tight and then just hand screw in the Allen bolts. So I'm just going to hand nip them all evenly, like so. Okay, spark plug tight, remember? Hand tight and a nip. There you go. Excellent. So the idea of pre-oiling a filter is so when you start it up, you're not going to get a few seconds of no oil getting through on the components. Sorry, I've just knocked over it. I'm just wiping up any oil that ran out the case in there. Okay, right, you're still there. Right, so we've done that. We're going to give underneath another 5 minutes because it's still dripping. And that's the dirtiest, the clag that will come out last. Okay, that's me just wiped. There's still a little bit coming out of these, but I'll put that back in. Don't know why they actually made it right under the frame like that, but they did. You'll get a narrow 17mm socket on that if you do have one. If not, you just have to use a ring spanner. Just make sure it's right on. It's too easy to round these sort of corners of these bolts and nuts. There you go, that's tight enough. Now that's still dripping, but you know, I'll be here all day waiting. So we've got this filter that just plugs back in, watch, pushes in, there you go. Got a wee bit of a wipe. Now, O-ring on that's fine. Don't have to worry about that. Bolts are there. Put one bolt on first. Front one on. Just hold that up. Like so. The back one on. And as always, it's impossible to film things. Now, quicker way to do that. Hands away. Take this away now. Just take your socket and hold it on the nut. That's why you've got serrated bits on your sockets, so your hands don't slip in the oil. And that's why you've got your towel down, because you've still got a bit of oil coming out of that. Okay, that's as tight as that needs to go, look. Okay, any tighter you're risking stripping those. They're little bolts, and that's why I would say just use a short ratchet, like a 1/4 inch rather as a bigger 3/8. That's more than enough on them. Okay, now one last thing to do is clean it with brake cleaner. And that's why you got your towel as well underneath. So reason being, all the muck, it just sticks to it. Well, my bike's minging anyway, but it's also so when you start that up, you'll see it's totally tight, no leaks. So filling up, it's 2.2 litres. I think I put 2.1 in and see where it is at that. Now what you'll have to do is muck around the funnels that are going to fit in here. What you can do is take that cover off, and that gives you a bit more room. But you really want a good fitting funnel if you're even going to attempt to do something like that and pour a whole load in. Personally, just put 1 litre in. A lot easier. Unless you're keen to go for it like I do. So, without further ado, let's get this done. If you're lucky, you'll get it all in without spilling it. Just take your time. Oh, a couple of drips. Okay, so you'll see your oil's up on your oil window there now. So we're nearly done. Wee bit of a mess there to make. Right, tidy up. Now I'll just give that a quick blast with brake cleaner. Right, out the way, doggy. Up. Now it's good stuff, brake cleaner. We're cleaning it, just evaporates off as you can see. So we're now ready to start her up and just check for any leaks. Hopefully there's none. Okay folks, that's the job all done. Oil and filter changed. So as always, I don't edit in and out when I do stuff, so you can see how I remember stuff and forget stuff. Only point I would say is try and make sure and get a decent funnel that'll fit in there, because it's quite awkward. You do get the ones with the flexi hoses. So all that remains now is to give the bike a good clean down with muck off, and I'll probably take it for a run today because it's dry. It's a bit breezy, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway, I'll no waffle on too much. Success, eh Murphy? Did you enjoy that? You good? You got in there and got in the way and gave me a hand. Alright, okay, see you again soon. Part 2, we're going to give it a winter protection, and we're using XCP. Okay, see you then. Bye for now. Forgot to add, that's what you should be left with. Oil free floor, as clean as when you started, if not cleaner. So for personal safety, you don't want to walk oil into your house on threat of being beheaded for right reasons as well. Okay, thanks again, bye. Back just before we go, here we go, a day later they arrive. This is the funnels you want. So this bottom bit screws off, like so. So it gives you multiple choice, but watch this. Put that on, take your oil filler out. There you go. You can pour all day long, not spill a drop. So get yourself one of them. Just go on eBay and just look up oil funnels, fillers, whatever, and it'll come up on their garage and tools workshop. So this is 2 days later, and as you can see, it's still to dry in a bit, but what a finish the bike has with XCP. Anyway, you will see that in the next video, all this, what I've done. Alright, so until the next one, thanks again, bye for now.